I'm Sarah Holcomb, and welcome to Mad Hatter News, where everything is madness, except for here, oddly enough. The New York Times just came out with an article saying that Epstein's bank has been making transactions since his death, adding up to $12 million. If you didn't know, Epstein has a bank located in the Virgin Islands where he can operate without having to answer to U.S. authority, where transactions can go through and he doesn't have to explain them. Well, transactions are continuing to go through, even now. It's almost like this is bigger than Epstein and other people have access to this. The bank was just sitting there after Epstein's death because the Virgin Islands was not monitoring it because Epstein was dead. Why would they monitor it? There shouldn't be anything going on, but there has been. $12 million worth of transactions, actually. A judge came out and said that they need to produce receipts as to what this is because we need answers. This is not making sense. A lawyer came to the judge and said that these were just transactions made in error. I wish somebody could make an error depositing $12 million into my account. What do you mean $12 million was an error? The judge said this was an insufficient argument and that the judge still needs to see receipts. They still haven't been able to produce them. Some people are saying that they could be automatic transactions. I find it hard to believe that you could have $12 million in automatic transactions, but let's say it's property, right? Let's say that this is a thing that is just automatic. Then provide receipts for it. Show us what it's for. They still haven't been able to produce that, and that is the problem. If it is such a big thing and this has gone to court already, don't you think they would have the documents to prove what these transactions are for so that this would be an open and shut case? Yeah, absolutely. But they haven't been able to do that. So who is behind Epstein's bank that is still operating and flowing money in and out? Hello? He's dead. People in my comment section were saying that Epstein must still be alive because of this. I think that would be very not likely because if Epstein was still alive, let's say he got a bunch of plastic surgery, was put under witness protection, flown out to a different country, he still would not be using his old bank to make transactions. That would be way too obvious. I think that this is a part of a bigger scheme that was much bigger than Epstein, and that there are a lot of people globally involved with this and rushing money in and out of this bank. That's the most plausible thing to me. And again, if we want to be proven wrong, then prove us wrong. The judge is asking for us to prove this wrong, but no one has been able to. All of this is coming out on top of Epstein's list suddenly not even existing. So this past week, they came out saying that the Epstein list doesn't even exist. Pam Bondi said that the Epstein list was on her desk and she was ready to expose it. Now they're saying it doesn't exist? Huh? The crazy part is Republicans voted on not releasing the list. Even though Trump said he would release the Epstein list if he got elected president. He promised us that. Republicans voted against releasing it. Okay. So let's say that they pulled a old switcheroo and they became treasonous, which I kind of feel like this is treasonous. This is also making Trump a liar and making the Republican Party a liar. Okay, fine. Republicans voted not to release the list. Fine. Let's just say and ignore that they are liars and that's fine. Let's say they're treasonous and they went against their own party's wishes and why they elected Trump into presidency to begin with. Fine, let's just forget all of that. The fact of the matter is the Republican Party voted for the Epstein list not to be made public. But then they're also saying it doesn't exist. So how could you vote on something that doesn't exist? How could you vote on not releasing or releasing something that doesn't exist? Interesting, don't you think? They think we are really stupid. They really think we're dumb. How many times are you going to let them take us for a fool? After the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said that she had these documents on her desk and then suddenly said, "Oh, actually, we don't have them anymore because they never existed in the first place," she wouldn't answer any more questions. That was it. So the press went to the press secretary, Caroline Levit, and asked her, and this is her response.
So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Yes, she was
What?
saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars.
Doesn't this sound like the Maps girl from Miss South Carolina a while ago trying to answer a question she couldn't understand how to answer?
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like her. These people don't know what's going on. They can't even cover up their own lies. They're like, I think that maybe we should maps and so on and so forth, Pam Bondi, and existence of trains. What? Let's see what people are saying about this.
The Epstein list is not real. Case closed. He committed suicide. There's nothing to investigate. We never said we had a list. We said we had the files. Jeffrey Epstein never even was a real person. He was a figment of your imagination. It was no island. He wasn't real. It's not our fault that you believe everything we tell you. That's your fault. So you think we use the client list as leverage to get everybody to vote for the big beautiful bill? Who you got that from? Propaganda. How many people you know with the last name Epstein? Nobody. That's what I'm. Hell no, Maxwell ain't getting out of prison. Elon said Trump's name was on the list. Well, tell Elon to drop it. Are y'all sure Elon don't got that list? Elon downloaded some files before he left. Oh my God.
Jeffrey Epstein has no client list, but I ran an escort agency for 5 years. During one of those years, I actually kept track of my clients, and my list is over 10,000 names. When I was arrested, the prosecutors wanted my list. I told them they could have it if they went after the men the same way they went after me, which was to take all of their money and arrest them by an armed SWAT team. And guess what? They didn't want my list. They just wanted to cover up who was on there so it never got out to the public. The same way with Jeffrey Epstein's list. We will never know who's on there. It's a cover-up.
He won't release the list because he's on the list. He won't release the list because he's on the list.
Yeah, people are calling out the ridiculousness of this. We are not stupid. Even though you are trying to poison us through our food, our air, our water, everything that's going into our bodies, including microplastics, which they are finding a spoonful of microplastics in people's brains and almost every dead body that is being prepared for burial after they die. They're finding a spoonful of microplastics in their brain. So yeah, they're making us as stupid as possible, and they think that we're already at the level that we're just like, and we're just gonna believe that. Like, I'm sorry, we're not at that point yet, that we are complete duds on a log. Like, we're just toads sitting there in a log. Like, we're not there yet. So yeah, we have questions. Even though they're trying really hard to manipulate and control us, they really thought we were there already. What I found really fascinating about this is that Epstein's lawyer himself spoke up about this, saying that he himself has seen the list.
I tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed, and they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them. And that's wrong.
Just out of curiosity, without names, are these politicians, business leaders, both?
They're everything. And let me tell you, a lot of them are, at least one of them is somebody who was accused. Others are accusers. And the judges have said, if somebody calls themselves a victim, we're not going to give any information about them. But they may not be victims. They may be perpetrators. So we don't have information about false accusers. And we know there have been many false accusers who have accused innocent people for money. And those records are being deliberately, willfully suppressed. And they shouldn't be suppressed. If the accusation is allowed out, so should the material that diminishes the credibility of the accuser. We want total transparency on this. Every single document, no redaction. That's what I've said from day one. I waive any of my rights of privacy. Anything there is about me, I'm happy because it will be exculpatory, because I know I haven't touched a woman other than my wife from the day I met Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even hug people, but I was falsely accused and I was able to prove it. And I was able to prove it through documents. And I want other people to be able to disprove false accusations through documents. But these documents are being suppressed and withheld.
So the list exists. Don't believe the lies. It exists, and they don't want you to see it because of who's on the list. They're saying they're trying to protect victims, but the victims are the ones who made the statements to begin with. The victims are the ones who want justice to begin with. The victims are the one out there saying things. So how are you protecting the victims of these crimes and then saying that these crimes never happened and the list doesn't exist? Pick an explanation. Pick an explanation, Trump. And then he tried to say that we are just obsessed with this guy, and why is everyone obsessed with this guy?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
He's gaslighting us. And this is happening in real time. Even MAGA people are upset about this. MAGA people are like, you know what? You hook, line, and sinkered, abused, confused, and lied to us, and we're not having it anymore.
We're not going to play with these anymore. MAGA hats are off. America First hats are on. Burn, baby, burn. This is a great representation of what's left of MAGA.
Yeah, so it's just hitting the fan right now. I guess that's it for this episode, but don't forget to subscribe so you can see more tea in this Mad Hatter Tea Party, because I upload quite a bit now, considering the fact that they have banned and blocked me from the Creator Fund on TikTok and Instagram. I guess I have very polarizing topics I talk about. I don't know. I don't think it's polarizing. I think it is things that people should know about and are interested in. Why are they trying to suppress all of this? Why are they trying to make us silent? Why are they trying to make creators who are interested in this and have followings lose morale? To just give up because they're not getting anything out of it. Well, I'm not giving up. I think that these things still need to be talked about. Call me crazy, but I don't really care. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, like I said. And I guess I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.